Everybody's doing well. Shall we have a prayer? Nobody's here yet. We can pray in private. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this new day. Thank you so much for the pretty sunset last night. I didn't see the sunrise this morning because I'm sitting in the wrong direction. And thank you for helping me to upload videos, although it's going so slowly. Please help me to figure out how to do it so that it will work properly. I don't understand why it does this. And thank you for helping me to have so much data, and I haven't used up most of it, which is such a shame because there's such a lot of it, and I should be able to do this. Bless us that I'll be able to upload this stuff and that my laptop will connect to my phone. I'm very grateful for all the blessings that I have. Thank you for all of our blessings. Some people have had some disasters lately. A lot of people have disasters lately. Please watch over them and help them to deal with the situation they're in, to be smart, to have ideas, to be able to make do, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. Help us all to help one another and to let these disasters bring out the best in us, the kindness, and bless us all that whatever differences may be going on, whether they're political or religious or opinions or whatever, bless us that we can put all that stuff aside and just see each other as people, and that we can help each other and serve each other as the Savior would serve us all. Thank you for helping us to grow as we live, and thank you for all the many experiences that we have gone through, even though at the time many of them were not wanted. Please watch over us that we will be able to make good choices today, that we will feel the Spirit and be able to listen to the promptings and the pictures that we get in our head. And today's conference, and we like to ask that we might be able to watch conference, churchofjesuschrist.org, General Conference 2022, October. Thank you so much for blessing us with conference and with the words of such wise people. Bless us that we'll be able to see it or hear it, and that the things that we are doing might not limit our ability to listen. And we're so grateful that Thou does care for us so much and that has given us so many things. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I'm uploading. It has gone from 50 to, look at that, it's at 56. How long have I been sitting here? What time is it? 7:30? 7:18. I think I got here by around 7. So it's only gone up 2%. Or it was at 50, so it's gone up 6%. I should probably drive to where there's really good internet and then do it. But if I do that, I would have to still use my phone to connect, and my laptop won't connect to my phone. It calls it iPhone, but it's not connecting. Let me try one more time. Can't connect to the network. So it's connecting to the library next door. Good morning, Susan. I didn't know if you'd be up already. How are you? I keep hearing these things about your operation being put off. That must be so frustrating, especially if you need it. There's a squashed animal on the road, and there's all these crows clamoring to eat it. Can you imagine if you had the taste buds of a crow? The things that would make you happy. Oh, look, I saw something so yummy. Oh my gosh, it's squished on the road. Come, everybody, come. Oh, there's a squirrel. He wants in on it. No, he's just chasing them. No, he's just going from tree to tree. So yesterday, I made lots of videos about what we were doing. Look, it's at 57%. Whoa. See, it goes slower once people wake up. I am frustrating switching hospitals. Oops, sorry. After many years. Yes, I guess sometimes you do. I was wondering, the doctors that you're seeing that give you conflicting answers, do you have to deal with these different doctors because of the insurance? Does it make you go to these different people to be sure that they really are going to be paying for something that actually has to be done? What a lot of crap. I'm so grateful for living in Canada. I am so grateful for socialized medicine. It's so awesome. I mean, we are a democracy. We vote for what we want. We get everything we want that we vote for. We vote for people, and if we don't like them, they'll change in 10 years or 5 years. Not a big deal. It's only a little damage, right? I like our current Prime Minister, however. But we won't get into that because that is called politics. Hey, these flowers have been frosted. I was out here the other day, and they weren't frosted yet. I was thinking, you know what? I should dig this up and take it home. But then, of course, I'd have to keep it alive. Not always very easy to keep things alive, is it? So yesterday, Willem and I dug up comfrey plants, and I videoed it. And those videos I'm trying to upload now. And the first one, which is where I showed you all around the teepee and the pathways and the arbors, arches, and then I cut willow, big huge willow, and I stuck it in the ground all around the basketry dome. And and then I looped them all together instead of cutting them all off. I bent them over and looped them together, and I don't know if they'll grow. The other ones that are big grew. I'm in the village at at the library, out in the car, trying to upload these videos on my laptop. You see? And it's still at 57%. So it's certainly not working very fast. So, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's nice to be around people sometimes. I like going down to my grass hut teepee just because people go by and they glance, and you know, they all are interested in the changes because it keeps changing down there. Like, I've just put this whole layer of thick grass on it. Some of the grass is really long, like 7 feet long. Some it just trails and keeps going, and so it's quite difficult to it's quite difficult to get it up on the teepee, and because it's all tangled together, these long wisps that are, like, most of it is not that long. Most of it's about 4.5 feet long. But then there's these long tendrils that'll be coming out that are another 4 feet long or something. Anyway, which I think is going to tangle it all together and hold it in place on the teepee, which is good. So yesterday I got up on the ladder and I had this enormous pile, as big as I could possibly reach. And I was trying to break it apart into not small things, but and then I would lay it across by me on the other side, but I was standing on this side of it. So it was on this side, but I had to move it to that side. And the long pieces, it wasn't easy to get across, so the long tangle would be still laying on the ladder in front of me. Anyway, but eventually I got it all up and I layered it, all the way up to the very top. And it looks good. It really looks good. And then we went and we cut comfrey leaves. Oh yeah, the comfrey leaves are all still in the back of the car. There they are. We cut comfrey leaves and we put them in the car, and those are going to go on the soil. And wherever you put them, the soil becomes better. I should probably put some out here on the soil around these plants at the library. Anyway, Anyway, so we're gonna put them. We planted these comfrey. They're supposed to give a lot of nourishment. So a comfrey plant will multiply, and sometimes they can become so many plants and have, spread over an area 8 feet wide. It's only 6:30 there. Yeah, it's 7:30 here. 7:26. Whenever I listen to CBC Radio, which is the Canada Broadcasting Centre, whenever I listen to CBC, I hear the 1 o'clock. They have the official time zone at 10 seconds after the long beep. It goes beep, beep, beep. At 10 seconds after the long beep will be 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and they do that every day at 1. But when I listen to WCBS 880 from New York City, I get that after it gets dark. It only works when it's dark or very rainy. Anyway, when I listen to that, it's always 1 minute difference. Why? How can that be? How can the U.S. be 1 minute different than Canada? Like we have the official time thing. What is the Greenwich time? I'll have to go online when they're saying it's that time. I don't know. Like I think, I don't know, it just makes no sense. Somebody's not right. It can't be 8 o'clock and 1 minute after 8. Like, it can't. The whole world is on the same thing. Anyway, but to me, that's just weird. Anyway, so, good morning, Susan. Did you get enough sleep? You're up early. I don't usually let you know that I'm going live early because I don't want to wake you up in case you get automatic upload things. It's still at 57%. Should go to my son's house where I can upload it really fast. But darn, I thought it was going to work because the other day it was working, but this new phone is not connecting. I don't know. I turn on the hotspot. Have I got some kind of a firewall that's not allowing the hotspot to work? I'm not sure. If I look on the settings, it doesn't tell me. See, connecting to the library, I've only got 2 bars. That's strange about the time thing. I know, isn't that amazing? Yeah, I wonder if you go online to the WCBS. I wonder if I can do that and see what time it says there. WCBS, enter. New York Radio. News and Talk Radio. I really love WCBS because I used to live in that area. Okay, so I wonder if it says, you can listen live from the radio station here. Does it have the time on it? The current time. I wonder if you could look in the more. I don't know. You'd really have to live on air. Okay, I don't want to mess up my connection thing going on here. What? Uh-oh, something's happened. Oh no. I messed it up. Okay, get out of this. Channel dashboard. Oh, here it is, 57%. Whew. I don't know what to do about it. Makes no sense. Anyway, so I was telling you about comfrey. So yesterday, I made all these videos. So I did the first video was putting the grass on the teepee. The second one was putting willow around it, cutting willow. And the third one was putting the willow around the grass hut, the little basketry dome, and around along a pathway and beside an arbor, an arch. But then we cut comfrey. We cut all the leaves off, which are big. They're like a foot tall and they're 6 inches wide. They're big leaves. Of course, they're small too. And we cut all the leaves off, and then Willem dug the plants out, which of course left a lot on the edges so it'll all grow back. But that's okay, because this is a good place to get the comfrey from, to have a comfrey nursery, sort of. And then Willem went to plant it on the hill, on the Sunrise hillside. It's really steep because it's an esker. And the sumac is broken and fallen down. So he had that in the way, so he couldn't get through until he moved all that. There was a lot of it in the way. And then he got up to the hill, the bottom of the hill, near Fiddlehead Pond, and he found lots of broken, like, branches down, so he had to move that stuff out of the way. And by the time he did all that, you know, I had already planted them. I planted probably a dozen or so around and under the fruit trees in our yard. Still at 57. And see, today's the last day of the month, and so I have all this data to use up, but it won't use my data. I can't get it to connect to my phone. And we're babysitting all day. We have the children all day from morning till night, till maybe overnight. Anyway, that's fine. That's lovely. So Willem and I will take turns being in the house. Of course, it's General Conference today, churchofjesuschrist.org. And General Conference, it'll be all over the main page. But I think if you Google General Conference, you might just find it today. So from my time, 10 to 12, and then 2 to 4, and then 6 to 8. And there's so many awesome talks. All these general authorities, the leaders in our church, they're really, really righteous, pure, loving people. And it's all truth. The whole stuff they talk about. I bought a new tablet. I love it. I can watch you better on here. Oh, nice. And can you go outside with it now? That must be nice. I try to make videos for you because I know that you and people that are stuck with mobility and health issues, I know that people like to have things to watch. And if you like me, then I should provide stuff that you can watch. I am a little different. Anyway, I've been having campfires down there at the Grass Hut teepee, Sedge Meadow teepee. I love it down there. I just love it. I love that I'm part of the world in a way, you know, that there are people going around. Most people love the silence out in the woods and the lack of people, but you know, I have so much of that. I have that all the time. So I like the highway because people come along nearby, and I'm not all by myself out there. And then a lot of people stop, and so I have social interaction too. Becomes my social life. If I go to the dump, nobody really talks to you. I do watch oh, you do? Oh, wow. Oh, Susan, isn't it awesome? I just love it. The kids are going to give us a lot of grief today because they're going to want the television. I was thinking of trying to set up the Xbox, but I probably have to have that in my son's name, and I don't have his password, and I don't know, I don't know. But I can't drive them to Ottawa because I have to listen to conference. But I do have conference on my phone, and I have earplugs or ear things. So I can just do stuff around the house with it on. The kids, I don't know, The kids are going to want to watch their stuff. But Willem can watch his at his desk with his earphones on, and I can watch it on my phone. I can go sit out in the backyard or on the back deck. I'm so glad you think it's wonderful. It is, isn't it? It's so full of the Spirit and so full of light. And the Spirit witnesses of truth. Whenever you hear truth from any source, it makes you feel good. It rings true. It gives you a certain feeling. That's the Holy Ghost witnessing that it's true. And that can be anything from Buddhist and Hindu and anywhere in the world that there is truth in anything. When you hear truth, the Holy Ghost will testify of it. And General Conference is all truth. It's all truth. It's not like you have to pick out the parts that are and the parts that aren't. It's all truth. And so you just feel so good. The Spirit is just the most awesome thing. That woman walked all the way around the block with her doggie. That's a big block if she's getting back here now. Our daughter asked if her cat can come and live with us for a while. Come for a visit. He's become really horrible. He attacks the children and they hide. They walk on the other side of the door frame, the doorway from him, and help, he's here. But they love him and they don't want to get rid of him, and but he attacks them. Ah, I got him, mosquito. So he's going to come and live with us, and perhaps he will attack our mouse. We have a mouse. If you see one, you have 10. And this is the season where they want to come inside. So he's going to come to our house for a little while and maybe get his wiggles out by chasing our mice, and maybe go outside. But I don't know. I don't want him to go out and eat my birds, which is what he'll do because he's an attack cat. I could not feed the birds for a while he's visiting. But even if I feed him upstairs, you know, like hanging, those seeds are going to drop on the ground and the birds are going to go for it. Unless I put something under the seeds so that they can't fall on the ground. A platform. I know just the thing. Yes. All right, I've got it. You a cat, lol. We've had so many cats over the years. Our Scarlet went to Germany and left 4 cats with us. And so eventually we didn't have any anymore. They would all be eaten by fishers or whatever out in the woods. There are 2 really cute little kittens under the deck. They are just adorable. Oh my gosh. But I'm allergic to cats. I don't want cats. They eat my birds. But it was just so cute. Anyway, Willem says, absolutely not. No, he doesn't want any pets, ever. I would like one of those dogs that catches mice. What is it called? A Jack Russell Terrier. That's the kind of dog I would like to borrow. But he would probably eat everything outside too. Who knows? But I don't want mice. I have food storage. I don't want mice in my chips. I have to somehow do it so that they can't get into things. And I have to get rid of them. That's the biggest thing, is to get rid of them. And I don't know how they get in. But I don't think a mouse needs very much room to get in. They just have the size of their head, which is actually the skull is very small. So they can squeeze in those tiny places. Look at this. We've moved up to 58%. It's never going to work. This is such a waste of time to sit here. But I'm talking to you, so I guess it's not a waste of time. I've been writing in my live journal lately. I had been neglecting it for quite a while. So I've been writing in it and or dictating to it. And I also have my paper journal, which I found again. I don't understand, you're letting a cat come visit and you're allergic? Yeah, well, I won't touch it, right? I'm allergic if I touch it. Hi. Oh, that was a lady. She's got a beautiful outfit on. It's an Indian outfit. She's got the pants are kind of a creamy yellow, and then she's got this top thing on it, and then she's got a scarf around. I found one at the dump that was so beautiful, and I wear it and I love it. I wonder where she gets hers. She probably gets them in Brampton. Or maybe she brought them. This looks pretty new. It's beautiful. She has a sweater on top of her Indian stuff under her shawl. The shawl goes over her head and around her shoulders. There's a lot of people here from India. Generally, they run the gas stations now. And you know, there's so many languages in India that even Indian people can't all talk to each other. You know, there's so many Indian languages. It's really hit and miss when you see someone speaking an Indian language, whether they'll understand each other. That must be a difficult thing. One country with so many languages with people that don't understand each other. You know, like here we've got 2 languages. No, the pet dander, it will still bother your allergies. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a pretty big house. And maybe I want him outside. I'd really rather he was outside, but I would like him to eat my mouse. He could just come and eat the mice. And after he's eaten the mice, then he can go back home. You know, I've been getting my house cleaned. Like, I've hired somebody who's cleaning it, and I am so amazed. She spent 4 hours in the family room cleaning it. She cleaned every bit of the chairs, underneath all the rungs under the chairs, and under the tables, and the legs of the tables, and the windows, and the walls, and the ceiling, and the fan, and the lights, and just, she did the whole room. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Anyway, it's so thrilling because I haven't seen it clean like that ever. And this is so good because that furniture came up from Georgia, and I know that there were you know, there are eggs that were on the furniture that of course are dead, because when I brought it home I left it in the trailer in the U-Haul truck for 3 days at -20. So there's nothing in there that's still alive. It was in pretty bad. The house had been overrun by bugs, and so anyway, so it's all clean, really clean. Ah, it's so beautiful. Anyway, so I'm trying to keep it clean, and I organized last night. I went at what time? What does it say? Oh, it's at 59. Is this what it's like uploading where you live? At least I have cell service and I can mostly make videos. It's so awesome. I don't know why it won't connect to this phone. Why this phone is not discoverable. With the Bluetooth on, it should be, but it's not working. Anyway, so so she's been cleaning the house. And yesterday I was out on the back porch, the back deck, and it never occurred to me to clean my wood workbench off, and I really cleaned it. I took everything is put away. All the boards are all put away. Everything is lined up and tucked in neatly, and I had a lot more room in than I thought I had. So I've even got the pressure washer and the little blower those are tucked in there too. And so the whole room is just lovely. I have a workshop with a saw on one side, and Willem putting the wood is really defining the room. He's stacking all the firewood along the edge of the deck. Well, between the posts. Anyway, I really am liking it. I made a little wall of all the camping gear. So it's out of the weather, and yet it's not in the sunroom. And I tidied up in the little shelter room, the little breezeway between the living room and the... So there's a couch there. I like lying on that couch. What kind of bird is that? It's a goose. Anyway, nice sky this morning. So we cut the comfrey and we dug the plants up and we planted them on the steep slope of the esker, and which is the hill, Sunrise Hillside, just out of the house. And you know, I made a pathway there a while ago, not too long ago. It's so nice to have a pathway through there. You know, I've never created pathways in there. And so I did. And then I planted the comfrey along the pathway. So the pathways are on the sort of where it's not really steep, it's like a little bit steep. And so on the really steep places, I put all the comfrey. And so now it sort of lines the pathway, or it defines pathways, because the steep places are all going to have comfrey growing, and they will get bigger, but it's shady, so they won't get as big as they would if they're in the sun. But the leaves of the comfrey, as I said, that are there, those go on the ground to put the nutrients back into the soil. So I'm going to put them on the garden beds and under our fruit trees. So I planted a bunch under the fruit trees as well, maybe a dozen. And isn't that great? So that will give nourishment to those plants. You have more time to do what you want to do. Oh yes, you're talking about cleaning. Well, you see, I don't clean. So it's not that it's adding time, giving me time. It's that it's actually giving me something I wouldn't have otherwise. Because I don't clean that deeply. We've been having a problem with lots of bugs in our house, but hanging up the fly paper, I think, has pretty well eliminated the problem of the pantry moths. Of course, there'll be another crop of them because they'll come out of the eggs that are already laid. Those will all hatch and become larvae and then become moths. And so when they fly around, you see, will they lay their eggs before they fly around? Have I really gotten rid of the problem? I guess I could just spray everything with vinegar water, wipe all the surfaces of everything in the cupboard. It's all going to happen. It's all possible. Anyway, so she's cleaning, and this is her fourth week, I think. Third week. She did the bathroom and a small bedroom and half of the big gardening bedroom upstairs 1 week. The next week she did the downstairs bathroom, our bedroom, and the living room. And last week she did the family room. And next week she's going to do the big bedroom upstairs, Maya's room, and the other half of the giant room, and Willem's office. And that'll probably be enough for the 4 hours. Oh, look, it's at 60%. Whoa, things are moving up. But you see, once people start waking up, there's less internet. But I'm on the Wi-Fi from the library. I'm next door to the library. So this is... I'm going to turn on this so I can close the window. It's getting cold out there. It's only 7 degrees. 7 and 7 is 14, plus 32 is 49. So it's 49 degrees out there. Is that right? Well, maybe. 7 and 7 is 14. 4 plus 3, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. No, 4 plus 2, 6. So it's 46 out there. Still 60%. This just might not upload. I'm going to run out of time. I need to be at home. The kids probably are coming at 9. Let's see what the time is. 10 to 8. I don't have time for this to upload. I abandoned it yesterday. It would be so much better if it was using my cell service, because otherwise all this data is going to waste. Of course, if it uploads, it uploads. Oh well. I wonder if there's a setting I'm not realizing about. Oh well, so today is conference, so I'll spend the day with conference, but I'm also gonna do other things during the day when it's not conference. See, it's a bit of a conflict, because when the kids have the 2 hours between conference, they can be busy watching television. But when they're not watching television, they'll be playing like they're really into screens. They'll be playing their Nintendo, or not their Switches or their tablets, and they'll be busy with their Pokemon or Minecraft, and I won't be listening to conference, so I can do things outside. I can do more. But when conference is on, I will be busy and they won't be having the television. So unless, I think they can just use the television and I'll just use my thing. Maybe I'll have a campfire outside to keep me in place. Ava, our housekeeper, she wants me to make a basket to hold the toilet paper and the pads. And so she wants it to have one circle that's it's bigger than a big toilet paper roll, and then another circle for the pads. So we can stack them and it'll all be one. And so it'll have sort of like a figure 8 shape. And so I cut out a figure 8 shape out of wood. I need to put holes in it. And then I have to harvest willow enough to make it with. I don't have enough willow anymore for that. I used all my willow up. But I don't want to make it out of, like, I have all this stuff down here. All that. That's for making a basket. I don't know where I got that from. I had thought I bought it, but I might not have. But it is a package. It's got a pattern in it. It's all ready for the pattern. It's the right amount of materials. Anyway, so I'll make that basket. I think that would be good to make that basket. I gave away my basket that was like that. But this is a different one, and I've never done this kind of a pattern before, so it would be good for me to do this. I should get better at basketry, right? I should have one thing that I really get good at. Fiber arts. Anything to do with fiber. Oh, and I've been spinning. I moved my spinning wheel to the family room because those 2 chairs in there are perfect height for it. And they're gliders. And I found that if I put my arms on my knees, like if I slouch, imagine, I can do the whole spinning thing without getting a backache. We're at 61. Look at that. That was quite a jump. But it's 8 o'clock. I think that, I don't know if I should, there's a possibility of this satellite thing that we can get. I'm not sure how much better our uploading will be, our speed. My daughter has that, If it's really good, then I should be able to upload quickly on hers. I don't think it is that quick though. But my son's in Ottawa is really fast. Hello, 4 people. Were you expecting something profound to be said here today? What would you like me to talk about? What are we thinking about? I'm just thinking about uploading these videos. I have some grass still beside the ladder on the teepee to go up. There was one more part, which is, it's got a lot of light coming in. So I'll go back in the teepee and I'll check it out, and then I'll go up and I'll go inside to see where the light is coming through. And then I'll go out and I'll pile the grass on that area all the way up. You have to start at the bottom, even though the top might need some. If you haven't already piled it on all the way up, you have to, well, I have now. I have piled it on from the bottom all the way up everywhere. But some places are not thick enough, so I'm adding there. But see, there you can't just, if you put some somewhere, you have to put it up above. Otherwise, it's not like shingles, you have to have the top ones on top of the bottom ones. You can't just add one on the bottom. You have to add them and go all the way up. So did I tell you I discovered safflower seeds? Like, I had these safflower seeds and I didn't know what birds would like them, but cardinals and mourning doves. So I've had these 2 mourning doves coming, but there's these kittens under the porch and they want to attack them. Maybe we'll just borrow the cat for today. Maybe she'll bring it this morning. There's a room that needs insulating, and I was going to insulate it, but these sheets of insulation are pretty big. I could put them in my car. If I drive my car with them in it, I can't carry the children though. So I can't take it to their house and do it. I could take it in a separate vehicle, perhaps. 62%. I'm going to have to abandon this soon, because the kids are going to come. What time is it now? 8 o'clock. It's time for the news. Shall we listen to the news? Do you like hearing the news? Let's hear the news.
We'll air that at 8:15 this morning, and after that we're off to Smiths Falls, where Beckwith Street is officially fully reopening after a major construction and revitalization of the street is now a complete street. And all the shop owners, many residents are happy, although there are some people still critiquing that they are losing angled parking. That's coming up in the next hour here on In Town and Out.
Oh, look, I've used 50% of my data. Well, 50%. Means I have 10 gigs left to use up today. It's at 62 at 8 o'clock. Okay, let's listen to
on day 6 with Saroja Coelho. This morning at 10:30.
I like the news. It's so interesting.
Coming up later today, it's Quirks and Quarks with Bob McDonald.
Sometimes the answer is brute force. That's the solution to the problem of a killer asteroid on a collision with the Earth that NASA tested. And the brute force was hitting it with a spacecraft traveling 6 kilometers a second.
Quirks and Quarks is cool.
Report. Good morning from CBC News. I'm David Common. We begin with the pummeling in South Carolina.
We're so blessed not to be there.
Cyclone Ian battering buildings and flooding streets. It's the second time Ian has made landfall in the U.S. after hitting Florida on Wednesday, and the cleanup and rescue missions continue there. Coast Guard lowering himself from a rescue helicopter below a man sits stranded on a beached boat. The waves kicked up by Hurricane Ian were so strong that it pushed that vessel inland. At least 21 people are dead, thousands more believed to be missing. This as officials in Florida continue to assess the damage left by the then Category 4 hurricane. Paul Hunter is in Florida.
With the initial
Thousands
shock
are
of the
missing?
storm beginning to wear off in South Florida, they're now talking dollars. Some officials now estimating the cost of Hurricane Ian likely to be in the tens of billions, making it the costliest storm.
That's because it's really expensive.
Walk around in the
Fancy
muck and
places
debris
down
that
there.
litters the Fort Myers area, and it's clear that estimated amount seems reasonable. Seemingly every power pole, every light standard, the roadways and bridges, countless homes and businesses, in so many cases, entire neighborhoods need not just repair, but likely a rebuild, effectively from scratch.
Wow.
Add in the immeasurable personal losses. Boats of all sizes sit literally in piles, often torn into pieces, fleets of cars and trucks destroyed, and near immeasurable family belongings all gone. As one woman put it to CBC News yesterday, picking through the remnants of her life at what's left of her home, where do you even begin? Then she broke down in tears. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Fort Myers, Florida.
Meanwhile, in Atlantic
We're
Canada,
all
the
next, right?
widespread destruction wrought by
Nobody's
another
gonna
storm
be
has
free
some
of
politicians
this.
reflecting on how to better prepare for extreme weather events. More from the host of CBC Radio's The House, Catherine Cullen.
These are areas that look like a bomb went off. There's no other way to describe it.
The Liberal MP for Cape Breton-Canso says seeing what's happened to his community.
Oh, so this is Canada now.
While
Fiona
Mike
just
Callaway
hit.
is helping constituents get access to the services they need, he's also thinking about being prepared for the next natural disaster.
This is a time to rebuild, to repair, not just for the next 4 months, not just for the next 6 months, but, for the next generation.
Conservative MP Brad Viss agrees. He represents the BC riding of Mission Matsqui Fraser Canyon. It includes communities hit by flooding and landslides 10 months ago, and the village of Lytton, largely destroyed by wildfires caused by record heat.
We have to look very closely about how we deal with natural disasters, how we deal with climate change.
Viss says that
Oh,
means
my
looking at a new
friend
role
lives
for
in
the
St.
Canadian
Augustine,
military
too.
so that it can be on scene at a moment's notice. He believes it's also about investing in infrastructure better prepared to withstand extreme weather.
This is not a partisan issue. I think all Canadians understand that we need to do better, and we can do better.
Viss says that means being prepared for regular fires and flooding. Right now, he says, we're not. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.
You can hear the full discussion with MPs on the House. That's coming up right after the 9 o'clock news.
Відбувається в Лимані, Донецької області. Це кроки, які
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his troops have made substantial gains in the east. They've surrounded Russian troops in the eastern city of Liman. It is in the Donetsk region, one of 4 key areas annexed by Moscow yesterday. President Vladimir Putin says those regions are now a part of Russia, but Western leaders are refusing to recognize Russia's claims. More now from the CBC's Dominic
Grass
Valinas.
cut from my sedge.
Putin's move to annex 4 occupied regions of Ukraine has been widely rejected by Western countries. So too has the Russian president's veiled threat yesterday to use nuclear weapons to defend those regions. But at a press conference last night, US President Joe Biden.
Well, why would he
Russia,
want them
the
if he's
West
going to
would not be
nuclearize them?
intimidated.
America and its
Can't-
allies are not
You
going to
can't
be
grow
intimidated
stuff there
by
afterwards.
Putin and his reckless words and threats. He's not going to scare us, and he doesn't or intimidate us.
NATO has described Russia's move to annex 15% of Ukraine as the most serious escalation since the start of the war. Biden said he believed the land grab was a sign Putin was struggling and had this warning for Russia.
America is fully prepared with our NATO allies to defend every single inch of NATO territory. Every single inch. So Mr. Putin, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Every inch.
Meanwhile, Western countries, including Canada, have announced a raft of new sanctions against Russia for annexing the 4 Ukrainian regions. And next week, the United States will announce a new multi-billion-dollar security aid package to help Ukrainians defend themselves and fight back against Russian forces. Dominic Velitis, CBC News, London.
Canadians with dual citizenship are being warned they should leave Russia or possibly face forced military service there. The Canadian government advisory comes in response to Russia's call-up of 300,000 people to fight in Ukraine. Global Affairs says dual citizenship is not recognized by Russian authorities. Those same authorities may choose to consider anyone with dual citizenship as Russian and therefore subject to conscription. Thousands of people are taking to the streets around the world this morning. They are demanding justice for Mahsa Amini, the 22-year-old Iranian woman who died in custody after being arrested by Iran's morality police for improperly wearing her hijab. As Rebecca Collard reports, international activists are calling for their own governments to act.
Protesters are gathering here in this central square in Berlin at the same time as protests in an estimated 70 cities around the world. So there are protests across Europe, in the Middle East, and also, of course, in North America, including protests planned in Canada today. Now, talking to protesters here, they say they are here, of course, in solidarity with the nearly 2 weeks of protests by people in Iran since the death of this 22-year-old Kurdish Iranian in police custody. But Azar Tahiri also says that she is here to send a message to the government of Germany.
Stop trading with Iran, stop negotiating with Iran, with the Iranian regime, because it isn't a benefit for the people.
Most Western governments have condemned the very violent crackdown by the Iranian government on these protests, and people here are hoping this show of solidarity will be the cause of further condemnation by Western governments. Rebecca Collard for CBC News, Berlin.
Ceremonies, marches, and other gatherings helped Canadians observe yesterday's National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It was also Orange Shirt Day for many schools, giving kids an opportunity to learn about residential schools.
I wore my orange shirt.
And the children who never made it out. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson reports.
Today, we are renewing our shared responsibilities to move forward.
They stand in a circle, reciting poems. They share stories in special assemblies. They wear their bright orange t-shirts. But Canada's school kids also connected with stories of what happened in residential schools on a deeper level. It's a child's greatest fear, being ripped away from parents' hands and sent away, some never to return.
No matter how loudly they cried, they wouldn't be able to ever leave those residential schools for a really long time. And some kids didn't even make it out with a life. They would get hit and not even have dinner sometimes, and they would have to cut their hair.
But just as importantly, they took the day to celebrate the resilience of Canada's Indigenous peoples. Kinshuk Mata is a grade 2 teacher at Toronto's Withrow Avenue Junior Public School.
So we start off with that and keep it in balance, and my main goal right now is to keep it age appropriate.
In fact, Ms. Mata, not Indigenous herself, has learned and then taught her students a few phrases in Anishinaabe-Moan.
Musa Indigenous cause. That's how you say my name is Musa.
Ensuring education is a key step to true reconciliation. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson.
I should learn that language. Okay, that's
and that
it.
is the latest from World Report. I'm David Common. You are listening to CBC News.
91.5 FM. Now they'll tell us the weather.
Good morning.
Unless they have an ad first. Yeah, they first start in town, the next thing. Then they go back and tell us the weather.
Headed for a high of 18 today.
Coming up in this last hour of the show, coping with the death of a loved one can be a lonely journey for some, but Trish Warren is helping folks process their grief using the power of a good walk in nature.
Walking, the physicality of just putting one foot in
I
front
love
of the
being
other,
out in
keeps your
nature.
body busy, and it gets rid of the fidgets, makes it easier to think, makes it easier to process, and they're able to just go along and be more open.
It's funny.
We'll hear about Trish's free bereavement walks.
Okay. It's funny when you're in nature, it's we think of it as we really live inside. That's the idea, is we live inside. And to go outside, well, that's, like, oh, what's the weather going to be like? Or maybe I'll go on the sidewalk and I'll go for a walk. But actually, I live outside and I go in to sleep and to rest. But I go back outside as soon as I'm okay. Isn't that funny? Most people, if you see people sitting on their front porch, it's because they've come outside for a little while. If I go to my front porch, it's because I'm at home. I go home to my front porch. I told my kids that when I get old, if they're taking care of me, just roll me out onto the deck and cover me up, but make me warm, and just roll me out onto the deck, and I'll be happy. Glad the deck is long enough, but I need a bridge to the top of that hill. I need a bridge. These people that are in Florida, that everything is washed out. I mean, this is amazing. Even all the bridges are gone and all the telephone poles are down. It's like it goes to a third world country. Like, that's what the conditions are after these hurricanes. A third world country. And then they want to rebuild. I guess, like, to me, if you live on the coast and knowing what's going on with the water and the coastline and the melting glaciers and the rising water and the storms increasing in power, you'd think there would be a mass exodus out of these places. I don't think there is. I think they just plan to rebuild and put their houses on stilts. Oh, we always have hurricanes, but they have now added a new color for level of hurricane, I guess. It was 2 miles an hour under a Cat 5. That's pretty fast hurricane. That's really damaging. Oh, it's at 66. It took 4 minutes to get 1%. It's going faster than it has been. It took like 45 minutes to go 1%. How long have I been here? Maybe since an hour. The things I do for love. I love you guys. But I really should take this somewhere where the internet is going to be fast speed. We just don't have fast speed internet anymore. Except cell service. Cell service is very good. Nancy, is there Japanese cherry blossoms in America? Well, I don't live in America, first of all. I live in Canada. And Canada is not America. Canada is part of North America, and America is part of North America. But America is actually the United States. And there's South America, and there's Central America. They are part of North America, and we are part of North America, but we are not America. That is the United States. So I really don't know, but I do know that they have everything. And cherry blossoms. There's cherry blossoms at the Washington Memorial or the Lincoln Memorial, or somewhere all around there's a water body there, a pond, and there's cherry blossoms all around it. It's a reflecting pond? Is it at the Lincoln Memorial where Lincoln sits in the chair, or is it at the Washington Monument, which is this tall spike? I think I climbed the Washington Monument. I think it's like 325 steps or something. I don't remember. Maybe it's 125. Wow, Jimmy Carter is 98 years old. Wow, he grew up in Plains, Georgia. I lived in Athens, Georgia. He was down there in peanut country. Anyway, so cherry blossoms. About cherry blossoms in Canada, I don't know, but cherry trees can grow. There's ornamental cherry trees, and there's the what is it called? Sweet cherries, and then there's, are they sour cherries? No, there are sweet black cherries, and I don't know. There's lots of edible cherries, and there are cherry trees. I remember seeing some in Burlington that were in bloom in the spring. I don't have any cherry trees. Down around the Niagara area is the really fruit basket of Canada. Well, there in the Okanagan, out in BC. They have a lot of fruit trees in the valley out there. Oh, any more questions? Okay, what are we at now? Still 66 at 17. It was 13, right? 14, 15, 16, 17. Maybe it'll change soon. 66. And you know, sometimes when I'm out of power, no, when my camera, my battery on my phone turns off, I will click the X and then click end, but it doesn't have the done strip across the bottom until it's back on cell service. So it may take a few hours before I'm back in cell service or Wi-Fi, and I click done. And then finally it's starting to upload and process. Maybe not uploading. It's at 67, at 17, no, at 18. Was it already 67? I forget it's hard when you're chasing numbers like that. I have to write it down. Write it down on this piece of paper right here. $67, and it's 8:18. I'll have to notice when it changes, so I'll notice how long. Oh, you could ping it. I could ping my internet. I'll do that. P-I-N-G. Enter. All right. And then down. Where's my down button? Ping identity, ping networking, largest selection of ping off. Ping command, that's what I want. Or ping test. Okay, where's my mouse? Ping test. Ping test. Speed test. Ping test, check my ping. Okay, let's see what that is. That lets you know how fast your internet speed is. Ping test. Okay. Oh, it goes up and down. Look at that. Wow. Wait a minute. U.S. Hillsboro. What is that? Or start speed test. We'll see what that is. So, speed test. 4 milliseconds, 8 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds. Your IP. Alright, so -1. Oh, that's the IP. Latency. -1 megaseconds. Megabits per second. Oh, it's at 0. All right, well, I'm going to get out of that. Go back to see if I'm still at 67. And it was 67 at 8:18. It's 21. 9:23. Oh. Maybe if I plug it in to with a router wire, it would go faster at home. We haven't got very much cell service. Not cell service, but whatever it is. Okay, it's 8:30. I should go home. So, 67%. Not making very good progress here. I don't think I'll have cell service for very long. But I can drive along and you can be here, and if I get some service, then I can show you the trees. Let me go up here and see if I still have service. But if I don't, I'll be gone. So don't look for me for a while, because I probably won't go back on for a while. I do enjoy spinning at home. And I'm going to start making those comforters again. I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to put one on the table, and I'm going to have the... See, it's steaming up in here. Just saw that lady in the Indian clothes again. I wonder, I'd like to ask her where she gets them, but of course she doesn't speak English, I don't think, so it wouldn't do me any good. There's a tree up here. I want to show you this tree. Here, I can pull off here. Turn this around. Look at this tree. Look at the color of that purple. This tree, I don't know what kind it is. Some kind of an ash, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's an ash. Isn't that beautiful? Stunning tree. Okay, I'll put you back there. There's the window. And away we go. My muffler is broken and it won't be able to be fixed until Thursday, I think. Car gets fixed on Wednesday. If we are free on Wednesday or Thursday, we could drop our car off the night before, and we could. No, Wednesday won't work because my car, I think the tires are too bare. I don't want to drive it to Toronto. So, but if we got Willem's car fixed on Thursday, and if we don't have to be available on Thursday, we could drive his car down to the temple. We could go again. I don't know. We just went last week, but I couldn't focus. I came home and later I thought about all these parts of the whole temple thing that I know the whole thing by heart, but and I thought about all these parts of it that I hadn't seen. I think I might have slept. I hate it when I sleep in the temple. But anyway, or I was thinking, I was really lost in thought. I had lots of ideas I was working on. And one of them was putting willow in all the way around the dome, the basketry dome, which I then did. You know, I love learning. I just love learning. If I can learn something new, that's awesome. So when I watch YouTube, I watch to learn stuff. Sometimes I watch Disney and Roku and I get entertained, but learning is so neat. There's so much out there. You know, I really love archaeology. No, is it archaeology? Here. Wow. This is pretty cool. The leaves are not amazing, but these just right here are pretty cool. I'll pull over and show you. One moment, please. There, aren't they beautiful? How are your leaves, Susan? Are they turning there too now? Just breathtaking, isn't it? Okay. Up goes the window. It's very cold outside today. It's very cold this morning. I'll put my window up and then put the heat on. See, now I seem to have good reception here. What if I could get my thing to connect to my phone? Okay, so I'm going to disappear for a minute and I'm going to try and connect it to here. Guys, so I was able to pair my laptop with my iPhone. I finally clicked on something I hadn't clicked on before. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back into town where there's better cell service. I only have one bar here. And it's still at 68%. So let's go back into town and see. Oh, and the sun is starting to come out. I don't have much time. But I have 10 minutes, I guess. Let's see if it'll work. People are putting out Halloween decorations, but we have Thanksgiving before we have Halloween. I never really do decorate for Halloween, you know. Or, I mean, for Thanksgiving, or for Halloween. I certainly don't do Halloween. But I would like to make a spider web. Wouldn't that be fun to build a spider web? Still 68. It's not changing. I have more grass to put on my teepee. Change, 68 is all. I wonder if it shows the signal. see the changes of the leaves. Yeah, let's check the cell service here. Okay, it's still at 68. It's showing not connected, but no internet access. How is that possible? No idea. Maybe it's because I'm using the Wi-Fi or using the making this video. Let's pull over here again. Just check this out. Okay, I gotta push the button again, see if anything is, see if it's. Okay, so I connected it again. But it's still at 68. But I have good cell service. I have 5 bars of cell service here. But it's only 68. Oh well, I'll go home and let it continue uploading at home, because at least at home it will eventually do it. It was going to work. I was going to be able to show you the teepee. I was going to be able to show you the grass hut all around in it and working down there. But no. You know what? I just saw a really good place to watch the sunrise on the bridge. There's a bridge there, and I think from the bridge you can see where I saw the sunrise the other morning. Because it's so nice over the water, right? Maybe the sunset would be this direction. Which way am I headed? West-ish. Oh. So listen to my muffler. You like that? Yeah. Thursday. Brakes and muffler, tires and muffler. The tires have to be put on the rims. I usually, or maybe they're on rims. No, these are the tires, and the snow tires are on this car, and they need to have rims. They need to have new tires put on these rims. I have 2 pairs of rims for my car. I have one that's got snow tires on it and one that's got regular tires on it. And I've done that because there's a lot more trouble and expense changing them on the rims. Just putting a tire on with a rim on it, But anyway, so it was expensive at the beginning to do that. I'm not sure what the cost of the rim was. Maybe $59 each, but probably more by now. But anyway, it was worth the expense because you save money all the time on, and you can exchange your tires yourself, right? You can replace all your tires with all-season radial. I wonder if I have other tires for the accidents. All my cars look alike. When I painted the car with my friend Joyce in Georgia, up in the mountains, we painted irises and other flowers on the car, and I put Nancy today on it. Oh, listen to that muffler. Oh, you didn't notice? It's a good thing I mentioned it. Now, how do I still have cell service? Oh my goodness, this is gonna die because I'm gonna go out of the range. So maybe I should hang up now, and then it'll upload immediately. Okay, I love you guys. Bye-bye.